This is the brand new LevelSafe Pro from Werner, and I'm going to show you exactly what this thing does, how it works. But first, we've got to install it, and I'm going to show you that too. Let's get to it. This is the extension ladder that we're going to be installing the LevelSafe Pro on. It is a Werner 20-foot aluminum extension ladder, rated for 375 pounds, so it should be nice and sturdy. Let's get this thing going. First things first, we got to get this thing opened up. The advantage of this particular accessory is that it's supposed to be really fast and easy to install, which is nice. And it's supposed to be super easy to actually set up to level your ladder once you get it installed. We got instructions. Looks like we got a couple of legs here. Package. So right off the bat in the instructions, it's got a compatibility chart here. It's got all of the different Werner extension ladders that it will work with. You've got this square rod that comes with it, and you have to cut that to a specific length based on your extension ladder or your model, and it will also tell you which foot spacer you need, if you need one or not. Some of them don't require a foot spacer. So my model is the D520-2, so it'll work on any of the D5-2 models, anything in between there. And it shows that I need to cut that rod to 21 3/4 of an inch. So let's get that done. Okay, I've got the base of the ladder sitting flat, the fly is on top, and it says I need to extend the fly up 4 rungs. So they send you this template. It's made of aluminum, something like that. And basically they want you to center this hole at the bottom of it. They want you to center that with this bottom rung, okay? That way this rod that's gonna go in there can turn freely if it's in the center. So that's the point they're trying to make there. Once you get that centered, that hole with this center rung, or this bottom rung, what I did was I eyeballed it down through here, and they want that nice and straight and in the center of the base. Then they want you to mark each location. So I just used a mechanical pencil, and now we can remove this little template, and there are my holes marked. So I need to drill those out now. They want these holes to be 1/4 inch, but what I'm gonna do first is center it and drill that with a smaller bit. I think I'll be more accurate doing it this way. Next up, it's time to actually install one of the levelers. You can see here it's got a few screws, 6 to be exact, and those should line up with your holes, and it does. Next up, they send us these little plates and some 3/8 locking nuts. Now you just slide that plate on, and we'll start one of our nuts here. Now we've got to flip it over, and we need to drill the holes for the other side. Okay, this is a critical part of the installation process. The already attached side needs to be fully retracted, but the side that I'm about to attach needs to be fully extended. It will not work properly if it's not installed in that manner. It's time to install the square rod that I cut off, and you can see this square hole in this particular foot. Same things over here. So I just have to look through the rung here, slide that thing in, and line it up with that square hole. There we go. Pretty quick and easy, really. So you can feel it actually insert into the hole. Now I'm fully extended. So now I need to install this particular one. And I've got to make sure I get that rod into this slot here as well. Okay, not gonna lie, this was tough getting this second one on and getting that square bar attached appropriately. This is the way they want it done. This was the one that I've already got attached. They want this fully retracted and they want this fully extended. The problem with that is it's a square tubing trying to fit into a square hole, so it has to be exactly perfect to line up. Here's a pro tip for you. Not a pro tip, I figured it out eventually. Turn the ladder back up on its side like the instructions told me to do, but I didn't listen. Turn the ladder back up on its side, start lacing this thing in here, and if you'll look through this little channel right through there, you can actually see that rod. Get it sitting exactly where you need it, and then just barely move this side a little bit, the one that's already attached, and it'll just drop right into place. So that's a little tip for you. I wish I'd have known that when I started fiddling with this thing. I've been going at it for probably 10 minutes just trying to get this thing threaded onto that rod. And as soon as I touched this, it just dropped right down, no problem. Next, I've got to determine if my particular ladder needs the foot spacer, and it does. I've got the check mark. So they send these little foot spacers. Remember the feet that we took off at the beginning. We're gonna put those back on. All right, here's a critical step. We gotta make sure that this toe pick, I believe they call it, is towards the back of the ladder. I know that this is the front, so I need this to be towards the back, these teeth right here. Now, this spacer, it shows to go right here. It goes in between the foot and the leveler. So if I can get that lined up, there we are. There we go, got the spacer in there. Now all I need to do, put my nut back on. Next up, they send us this nice little vial, little level, and it goes on the 7th rung up from the bottom on the base. So this is the 7th rung, and they want you to center it. This thing's got a little bit of a curvature to it, so it follows the curvature of the rung, which is really nice. I have figured out or determined that about 5 inches from the fly will get you about to the center. I want mine dead center on that rung. So about 5 inches, and right there it's seated really nicely. Next up, we're gonna take an 1/8 inch drill bit, and we're just gonna pilot us a couple holes here. There's one. They sent us these little screws, and I've got a 5/16 nut driver here that fits it. And they specifically say, do not over tighten the screws. And I can see why, because this base is plastic. So we're just gonna hand tighten this. It's a nice fit. Good and snug. There we go. Last but not least, they want us to install a warning label here. It's in the instructions, so I figured why not. There we go. Now that I've got the LevelSafe Pro accessory installed on my Werner extension ladder, it's time to test this thing out. I've got this concrete block. It's about 8 inches tall. I figured that would work well for dramatic effect. That's a pretty good differential in height. Quick and easy. Level. And level. Now that is really cool how well it automatically adjusts, and it's really fast too. Pretty much every time it's just leveling itself up perfectly. Okay, I've purposely set the ladder to where it's not level. And I'm going to demonstrate how, if you're in a situation like this where it does not level properly, there's a bypass. The first thing that we need to do is unlock these side clips. You got to unlock both of them. Now that those are unlocked, we can look at our bubble level. We can get it straightened up. You can see right about there, pretty much plumb. Lock those back down. Now it's safe to climb the ladder and we're nice and level. Overall, my thoughts on the LevelSafe Pro from Werner. I think this is an accessory that we have all needed for a very long time as a professional. It seems like every time I set up an extension ladder, it's never on a perfectly level surface. We're always sitting there shimming or messing with the ladder, and it can get dangerous really quickly, especially when we're putting on siding. It seems like there's always grade or slope issues, and it's just really sketchy. So this is going to come in super handy, especially with the height differential capability of this rig. If for some reason it doesn't level itself automatically, we've got a bypass built right in. I think that's awesome. The installation was quick, easy. The instructions were easy to read, so that's nice. I don't have to cut up my ladder and risk making a mistake. I think I'm going to like it. Wish I would have had it a long time ago. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one.